Is summer your favorite time of year?
Yes, summer is undoubtedly my favorite time of the year. It is because we have a pleasant temperature during the summer season, and after a long, icy, and biting winter, the summer brings some relief and conforms to us. I also like the fact that we can get involved in many outdoor activities during the summer season, including boating, swimming, and surfing.
What do you do in summer when the weather's very hot?
I try to remain indoors during noontime on a hot summer day. The sun often shines mercilessly and makes people perspire a lot if they're exposed to direct sunlight. However, I go out in the evening time as the weather is mild then. Overall, I like to swim in the swimming pool, go out in a park or near a river, and enjoy some ice cream or seasonal fruits during the hot summer season. I also try to drink plenty of water to remain hydrated.
Do you go on holiday every summer?
Yes, the holiday has become an integral part of the summer season for us. Since we get a long summer vacation, we tend to plan a tour and enjoy the time away from home. We have been doing this for more than 7 years now in a row. Last summer, we spent our holidays in a town that is located near a large river and many hills.
Did you enjoy the summer holidays when you were at school?
The summer holidays in my childhood are some of the best days in my life. My parents used to take me to different places, mostly near a sea, lake, hill, or river during the summer vacations, and I could enjoy different activities there. The fact that I did not have to attend school and I could visit many new places and enjoy numerous activities made the summer vacations even more enjoyable during my school days.
Which expensive items would many young people in your country like to buy?
Most young boys in my country would like to purchase the latest smartphones, tabloid PCs, gaming devices, motorbikes, cars, smartwatches, and branded clothes. Girls, on the other hand, would like some of the electronic gadgets as boys do, and would also like to buy a lot of expensive pieces of jewelry and fashion items. Some really rich young would want to buy sports cars, apartments, and sports gear.
How do the expensive items that younger people want to buy differ from those that older people want to buy?
I believe younger people mostly want to buy expensive items that they can either use or enjoy having, like electronic items, sports cars, and so on. Older people, due to their experience in life, would go for expensive items that have great future return potential, like expensive properties, antique items, famous artworks, and so on. However, in many cases, both generations want the same types of expensive items, like the latest cars.
Do you think that people are more likely to buy expensive items for their friends or for themselves?
It depends on so many factors, including the social and economic conditions of the person, but broadly speaking, most people would buy expensive items for themselves every now and then if they can afford them. But they would buy luxury items for friends on special occasions, like on their wedding days or when they expect something in return. There could be some really broad-minded rich people who would not hesitate to buy luxury items for their friends, as they would do for themselves, but the number of such people, I believe, is so small.
How difficult is it to become very rich in today's world?
I believe becoming wealthy, other than inheriting the fortune as a birthright, has become more complicated in this modern world than ever before, except in one sector, the information technology sector. It has become harder primarily because the number of people in a country has reached a staggeringly high level while the global resources are limited. So to become very rich from a poor or middle-class family is like defying all odds. A capitalistic economy has made it even more difficult as it favors the rich to become even richer. I mentioned the IT sector because we have seen many IT entrepreneurs become super rich in a decade or so, and this number is increasing. However, the fierce competition in this sector is also unbelievable, and only a few among millions can make it.
Do you agree that money does not necessarily bring happiness?
I strongly believe that money cannot bring happiness, and there are plenty of examples when people in need of money are actually happy people. However, I also believe that money can often aid us to remove our worries that can bring unhappiness. So, in this regard, a certain amount of money can help us become happy to some extent, but we need to have other important aspects like a caring family, good friends, sound health, and positive mentality to be happy in life.
In what ways might rich people use their money to help society?
Well, to start with, resource distribution in the world often seems unfair as just a few percent of the super rich own the majority of the global resources. When millions of people struggle to buy food and manage a place to live in, rich people definitely can do a lot to help society. They can share some of their fortunes to feed the poor and build hospitals, schools, and old homes to make society a better place. They can also create employment and offer some charity to poor people. Finally, they can use their money to ensure clean drinking water, road safety, and public infrastructure.
Who do you spend most time studying or working with?
As a university student, I spend most parts of a day studying, attending classes, or completing assignments. And my close friend, James, from my university, is the person with whom I spend the most time for the purpose of academic studies. Being great buddies, we understand each other and like to help each other with our studies. This is perhaps the reason he is my best study pal.
What kinds of things do you study or work on with other people?
In my office, I am a part of a team, and my team is assigned different tasks and projects, so I pretty much always work with other people for my day-to-day responsibilities. This includes market research, competitor analysis, talking to corporate clients, making a presentation, conducting meetings, and so on.
Are there times when you study or work better by yourself?
Sometimes I need to think outside the box and do some brainstorming to solve a tough problem or bring innovation to an approach. In times like this, I like to work alone. Besides, I often like to work on small presentations, like making a few slides all by myself. It gives me more freedom and time to think.
Is it important to like the people you study or work with?
Yes, it is extremely important because if I don't like someone, I can barely talk to them, let alone study with them or freely discuss different topics with them. I believe that only like-minded people who have a good understanding among themselves can be good study partners. If people in a group don't like each other, the group would not sustain for long.
What are the most popular tourist attractions in your country?
Our country is famous for its lavish natural beauty, historical buildings, architectural feats, food streets, and sandy beaches. Those places, along with large museums, theaters, and some beautiful islands, attract millions of visitors each year. On an average evening, if you go for a walk in a park in our capital city, you will notice many foreign tourists. Finally, many shopping malls these days are also popular destinations among visiting tourists.
How do the types of tourist attractions that younger people like to visit compare with those that older people like to visit?
I believe some tourist attractions like a sea beach, mountain, lake, or a modern shopping mall are loved by people of all ages. However, when it comes to the differences between the tourist attractions preferred by younger people and old people, there are some subtle distinctions. For instance, younger people often love places that have parties and loud music going on and have great nightlife activities. On the contrary, elder people often avoid loud music and parties and want to relax and enjoy themselves. Finally, when elder people are up to the historical values of a place, the younger generation often prefers places that offer adventures.
Do you agree that some tourist attractions, like national museums or galleries, should be free to visit?
Yes, I wholeheartedly believe that most museums and galleries that are funded by or supported by the state should offer free entry. This is primarily because when I see young people and tourists hanging out at a bar or shopping mall regularly, but scarcely visiting a museum or art gallery, it worries me. Some art galleries and exhibitions are expensive and not accessible to young students. This has a huge negative consequence. Due to this, our younger generation is learning very little about our history, art, and culture. The same goes when tourists roam around the city except for places where lies our national history. This is not desirable at all.
Why is tourism important to a country?
Well, to start with, tourism boosts the local economy, increases the foreign currency reserve, creates job opportunities, develops local infrastructure, and contributes to the national economy. Moreover, it helps promote the cultural diversity and uniqueness of a country while also fostering global peace. Some countries like Maldives, Macau, Aruba, Bahamas, Fiji, and Croatia rely on the tourism sector to a great extent, as they earn a large portion of their GDP from this sector alone. Finally, when tourists interact with local people and get to learn about them, it removes any prejudices and biases they might have. It in turn promotes tolerance and global peace.
What are the benefits to individuals of visiting another country as tourists?
Traveling to another country is immensely important for individuals as it broadens our horizon of knowledge, views, and understanding. It enhances our creativity, improves our communication skills, and boosts our confidence. According to a recent study, people who have traveled to different countries are likely to have at least 20% more confidence when facing new challenges. It also helps us make good memories, make new friends, and let us see the world from a different perspective.
How necessary is it for tourists to learn the language of the country they're visiting?
If someone is visiting a country only for a while, let's say for a few weeks, learning the language is not much rewarding, especially in this era when English is used ubiquitously all around us. The effort and time to learn a language is huge when you'll be only staying for a while, and please consider that countries like India have more than 20 languages. On the other hand, if someone is going to stay in a country for more than a year, the effort would be rewarding, as people always adore foreigners who can interact,